What's happening, gamers? It's Amber here with Kwings Let's Plays, and today we're going to be doing more Marvel Rivals, and I'm playing this on the PS5. If you'd like to join me, you can definitely friend request a Kwings Let's Play on Marvel Rivals and play with me today. And today we're going to be playing Storm, who is she's got the Queen of Orphans skin, and you can unlock this by basically doing the little mini battle pass they have in the game and unlocking her costume. So I can just show you guys where that is. So we've got lots of events going over here. So if you want the Queen of Orphans skin for Storm, you just have to go to where it says events, and then you're gonna go to, oh, actually I don't know if it's available anymore, but we did unlock it. So it must have been on a previous event. So it would have been on events. So we're still unlocking a lot of things here on the Battle Pass. And one thing at a time. Let's see. So we can we'll unlock one of these things here towards getting Loki. That's kind of cute, actually. The little crane. Okay, so actually, we're gonna go right to Storm, and maybe it'll show us how we can, maybe there's a way people can still unlock her, I don't know. Alright, so here it is. So she was on a mini battle pass that was pretty recent, and it's not really gonna tell us how to get her, since we already have her, but if you do, want to get a certain costume, and you don't know how to get it, then you just kind of go to where it says, like, acquire. So, like, this one we never got. It's past the time. We were supposed to unlock her a while ago. We never got to unlock Symbiote Storm. Which, honestly, Symbiote Storm looks pretty cool. It would be cool if they put her in the Battle Pass again sometime. But, yeah, so we've got a lot of costumes for Storm. We've got the OG costume for her. And then we have the costume where if you played the game enough or you got a certain amount of stats for Storm, you get this cool Ivory Breeze costume. And then we have the Mohawk Rocker costume, which looks pretty cool. Then we have this really cool Goddess of Thunder costume, which honestly, Storm and Thor's, Asgardian, kind of like design and like lightning thing go really well, since she already uses lightning, so that's really cool. So now we've got the Queen of Orphans costume. And of course, I just read a little bit about it, that Storm was actually, in some versions of her, an orphan in Cairo. So she was an orphan in some versions, so that makes sense why they're calling her the Queen of Orphans. And there's her emote. Oh, I've got the wrong emote for her. I think this is it. So this is the emote for her. Alright, guys, so we're just basically going to showcase Storm today. Alright, guys, and also let's see if there's anyone in the wings here. Okay, I see Game Tech. Alright, I see we've got Lord Draken is here. We'll see if Lord Draken wants to join. Okay, awesome. We've got Jacob Orion, I see in the chat. Oh, I see Mage Wolf. Let's see if, oh, okay. Let's see if there's anyone else who wants to join. There's Kylie. Alright, so it looks like we've just got Jacob Orion and Lord Draken right now. And then maybe other people will want to join later on. Okay, guys, and let's get right into it then. We're just going to do regular matches. And then when we show off the Punk Child version of Magic, then we will do a showcase in, like, we'll do some zombie mode of that. But this one we're going to do regular matches. I want to get MVP for the Storm skin. Oh, you can get it with the costume token. Oh, okay. Thank you, Dragon Lord. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Wind, cloud, and storm. Hear my command.
She's got really cool braids on the back of her, honestly. And she looks like a, it's just a fun costume, honestly. Like, she just looks like she's kind of playing dress up, or she's being cutesy and girly. And she's got almost like a little, like, unicorn horn. I feel like she kind of looks like, it could be like a Mardi Gras outfit. I don't know. It's just like, she looks like she's at a party or some kind of festival.
When you have been powerless, having power means something.
30 seconds before you attack. Get ready.
You should probably let me take point on this one, kid.
Go for it, Logan. You've got a lot more experience on the battlefield than I do.
Damn right. Some of us have actually earned the title Immortal Weapon.
That's low. But you want proof I can hang? Then you better keep
The
it.
battle starts in 5.
Yep, and there is a really cool new Wolverine skin in the
1.
item shop right
All
now,
you need to do
so
is capture the mission area. Got it?
I will show that off in
I
a
can
minute.
feel
Like,
the currents and electricity in my veins.
yeah, I am, honestly, that's one thing I did actually say before, was I felt that all Storm's skins were not very colorful. She only had that one that was blue, had some blue to it. The rest of them were either all black or all white.
Never liked him.
So, like, the fact that this one has a lot more color to it, I'm, you know, pretty happy with that.
Mission area.
This storm never truly ends.
And of course, we didn't have a swimsuit costume for Storm yet. I don't know if they'll do a Summer Sizzler Part 3, but this is kind of a swimsuity type costume, even though it's not quite a swimsuit.
Be strong. I can't believe you're in my storm.
I don't think that's the welcoming committee.
I will always lend a hand.
I never believed Loki's actually down. Combat capabilities enhanced.
Have a tailwind.
And I do need to get used to playing as some flyers, because I am going to be doing the Iron Man showcase of his new outfit. I had no idea that there was going to be a Wolverine skin in the... Probably everyone did but me, but I didn't realize that.
Never liked him.
We are undefeatable.
Pulse charge. Fire.
Our spirits shall meet again someday. They've almost got it. Enemy in front of us.
A thousand gods!
Oh! There was an interesting hello, Costi1968. Hi, Anthony. Hi, D-Dog. Hi, Dragon Lord. Hi, Howler. Hi, everyone. Hi, Jacob. Oh, man. I don't know if Lucas heard the DC news or not. If there was
And
DC
regent of the
news,
solar system, but I am always Aurora.
yeah, I didn't know that. I didn't realize that Storm's name is Aurora also, just like Sleeping Beauty's name is
30 seconds before you
Aurora,
attack.
so that's
Get
kind of
ready.
cool. Aurora,
Can't focus with all the mess
I
back
forgot
home
what
on
her
my
last
mind,
name
bro.
was.
In times such as these, Logan, we have to be able to walk and chew gum.
I remember when they patented chewing gum. Ugh, I'm getting too old for this.
Oh! Well, Lord Draken has
The
the
battle starts in 5.
new Wolverine
three,
skin. Very cool,
2,
Lord Draken. And I
1.
love this emote that Jacob
All you
Orion
need
was
to do is
showing off,
capture the mission area.
where
Got
Iron
it?
Man is just chilling.
Queen, mother, perfection. I answer to all three.
I don't think that's the welcoming committee.
Oh, we're like representing gods from this season. Interesting, Dragon Lord. Yeah, that's a cool Wolverine outfit. Honestly, I think that Luke is gonna want to get that, and it's only 1,600, which is like less than usual. Most of the skins are like, you know.
Mission area.
Feel the wrath of the goddess! They couldn't weather the storm. I will always lend a hand.
Berserker!
I bring thunder. Ride the winds.
We are undefeatable.
Well, let's go, Storm.
Charge!
Honestly, with a more colorful costume, I think she's a little bit more fun to play. I just like being able to see my character really well. I like colorful costumes, so that's me. But Storm is very sophisticated, so that makes sense why she has like more like either all white or all black colors. Colorful. Yep, I know that who Zack Snyder is.
The wind will
Of course.
only blow stronger.
The enemy has arrived.
Your powers are mine! 1,000 gods!
You're mine.
1,000 gods!
We'll have to keep fighting until we have a winner.
I can't believe we lost Logan.
Yep. Yep, of course Henry Cavill played Superman in the DCU. Yep.
Well, you can't expect to win them all.
Yep, and he cameoed in the Black Adam movie, and he was told he was going to continue as Superman at DC, but then they randomly said that he wasn't, that it was a miscommunication, and then he was randomly fired, and everybody wishes he was Superman because David Cornsweet is not nearly has, David Cornsweet doesn't have nearly even 1/100th the fan base as Henry Cavill has. Alright, SVP, Jacob O'Ryan. Yeah, good job, everyone.
Hurry up! Look out below!
Yep. Yeah, so Henry Cavill's been working on things like, well, he was working on The Witcher until he quit that for doing Superman, and then he ended up, doing like Warhammer and some other things that he was working on. Alright, great job, Jacob O'Ryan, SVP. Right, here we go, Lord Draken as, the new skin of Wolverine. Yeah, I've seen the post that Zack Snyder has made of. Yep, I'm aware of the post that Zack Snyder has made of Henry Cavill being Superman. Alright, great job, Lord Draken. And here we go with, but I mean,
I will always lend a hand.
Zack Snyder is, you know, he's just I mean, either he knows something or, you know, but, you know, or he's just trolling people with it. So I mean, right now, James Gunn is in charge of the, you know, the DC universe, and, you know, so he's decided on David Cornsweet. So I mean, as far as we know, I don't think there's anything Zack Snyder can do about it unless James Gunn is gonna be fired or quit, and then Zack Snyder could bring his universe back. All right, well, I guess we'll bring everyone back in again. All right, looks like Jacob Orion went to another game, so. All right, so we've got High Howler and Lord Draken. Okay. Oh, well,
Pick your hero.
I mean, I have
Or
heard that they're
villain.
for
I'm not
sale,
judging.
yes. But, I mean, 1 second, guys. I had the doorbell ring, so.
Wind, cloud, and storm, hear my command.
Seconds before you attack. Get ready. The battle starts in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. All you need to do is capture the mission area. Got it? Looks like the mission area is yours to capture now.
Alright, so I'm back, and I'm going to talk a little bit quieter because I don't really know if there's someone standing outside my door or not. It's kind of disturbing. So, I put my volume on my TV really low. So I don't really know, like, somebody said they had news for me. I mean, Warner Brothers has been bought and sold several times. I don't really know what the news is, like, a lot of people are aware that Zack Snyder is wanting somebody to buy Warner Brothers who will want to make his movie, but there's real no news about it. Of course he would want someone to pick up his version of Batman, and he's like, you know, it's kind of like teasing people and posting things, but there's no real news about the situation. Like, just because he makes a post doesn't mean that there's news happening about Batman. He wants his version of Batman to be made, but he isn't the boss of Warner Brothers. He's just a director, and people have to hire him and pay him to make the movie. So, like, he doesn't own Warner Brothers, so he's not in charge of it. So, I mean, I don't know. I think a lot of people are aware that, Luke and I have talked on our videos for most of our streams and everything that, you know, that, Zack Snyder has been posting things, and we've been talking about it for months, but, I mean, there's real no news because no one has decided if they're gonna, Warner Brothers was bought by David Zaslav, just, you know, maybe a year or two ago, I don't know, so, I mean, just because it's bought by a different company doesn't necessarily mean that anything is gonna change dramatically. At Warner Brothers, they're still gonna hire similar directors, you know, it's just gonna change hands of who owns the company. Okay, so we've got K2 Warren, Web Howler, and Lord Draken. Alright, here we go, and let's do another match, guys. So, yeah, I don't really know what the news would be. The news is that Zack Snyder is trying to get somebody to buy Warner Brothers that will bring his version of Batman back, but that's not really news because nothing really has happened in that. Like, he's just trying to get that to happen, but that doesn't mean it's going to happen. Like, I like Zack Snyder's version of Batman the same as the next person, but that doesn't mean that it's going to happen. You'd have to have a director that would be, the only way you would guarantee Zack Snyder's universe would come to Warner Brothers is if Zack Snyder himself bought Warner Brothers, which he can't because it's too much money for one person to own. You know, like David Zaslav, he's super rich because he owns, he owned Discovery. But the problem is with Warner Brothers is that, you know, like, they have so many different departments, and they make so many bad decisions that, you know, you have the comic book department, and you have the movies department, you have the games division of Warner Brothers, and all kinds of different things. And, you know, they're making so many bad decisions in general that, you know, you have to, even right now, I try to spend, like, maybe when I get my paycheck, like $4 or $5, I try to buy, like stocks or whatever, or shares in companies, and I see Warner Brothers, their stock is always going down. Because they're not doing well. Like, they're just not, you know, they're never doing well because they have poor business decisions. They don't, you know, like, as opposed to a company like Sega, who listens to their fans, who changes the character model of Sonic when their fans protested. You know, they made some great Sonic movies that all of the fans loved. You know, like, that's an ideal company that listens to their fans. Sega is great at that. But Warner Brothers doesn't listen to their fans. They don't really listen to their fans, so I would love for Zack Snyder to, his version of it to come too, but I mean, as far as we know, we don't know who's gonna buy Warner Brothers. So we don't really know if that will happen or not. And I mean, we did have the Snyder cut. We were able to get that. He was able to get that made. I mean, the fact that he'd still be willing to do it again is pretty interesting.
Never miss.
But I mean, like my husband Luke has said so many times, is it really depends on if Snyder is willing to compromise his version of Batman. Like, he wanted Dick Grayson to die in his universe, be the Robin that died. So, you know, if that's still what he wants, then it's going to be very hard for him to work with him, because, you know, Dick Grayson is a really beloved character, and people really wouldn't, the fans really wouldn't want to see Dick Grayson die. You know, they just would not want to see that. So that's a huge problem. Like, that Zack Snyder is so obsessed with his vision of what he wants to see happen with Batman that he you know, that he doesn't realize that he does need to please the fans. Like, if he doesn't, you know, like even Mark Hamill said once in an interview when, you know, like he was told by Disney to say that, well, we don't really care what the fans say. Like, he was in an interview about, you know, the modern Star Wars. And they said, well, we're really, you know, it doesn't really matter what the fans say, it's our vision. And Mark Hamill even said, you know, like, well, if we're not doing this for the fans, then who are we doing
I'm ready
this
to
for?
put on a show.
Like, if you don't care about what the fans want to see, then, you know, you're going to be in trouble, so. I mean, Zack Snyder can post all the images he wants, but if he doesn't work together with people and he doesn't compromise, it's going to be hard for him to get his vision across, or for anyone to hire him, because he doesn't want to compromise on his vision of Batman. And, you know, that's the problem with Warner Brothers, is you have a lot of people who are opinionated and they don't want to compromise on their version of reality. Like, they're what they want to see.
60 seconds left.
He is on fire.
So, I don't really, personally, I don't really feel like there's any new news with Zack Snyder unless I'm missing something, but I'm aware of the fact that he keeps posting stuff, but that he's not really in charge of the department right now, so, you know, like, he can post anything till his heart content, you know, but he's not really in charge of that right now.
I will always lend a hand.
Shields up.
That's what happens when you threaten my brother.
Do I think his universe has problems? I don't.
Never miss.
I don't think. I mean, now that Warner Brothers is potentially for sale, you know, you don't even know if James Gunn's universe is gonna last, depending on who picks up Warner Brothers. They could fire James Gunn, so, you know, what was nice about James Gunn's universe is we were gonna have finally a respected director who did really well with Guardians of the Galaxy, and he's gonna take over, and he was gonna do like a 10-year plan for Warner Brothers, but
You can't strike down a goddess.
you know, I'm not a Batman expert, but I am a DC fan, and, you know, I do love Batman the Animated Series, and I do love Henry Cavill as Superman, and, I mean, if you guys saw Luke's review of the Superman movie, a lot of the negative things that he said about Superman in that review were things that I said. He was actually toning down my version of my review of the Superman movie would be much harsher than Luke's. In fact, if Luke didn't see the movie with me, he probably would have written a more favorable review. So, I did not like this. I've already said it before. I did not like the Superman movie at all.
Shields up.
Like, whatsoever. I did not enjoy it. I did not think it was a good movie. At all. I did not. There was many parts of the movie that made me so uncomfortable and so weirded out and so, like, I just didn't like it so much that I almost just left the theater and just asked for my money back. That's how bad I thought the movie was. I did not like it. I did not like it. David Cornsweet as Superman. I did not like a lot of the plot. I did not like a lot of Lois and Clark's relationship. I didn't like a lot of the themes in the movie. I didn't like Lex Luthor as the villain. I didn't think he did a very good job. Yeah, I did not like very much of the movie at all. The only saving grace of that movie was Mr. Fantastic. I would have watched The Rock's Black Adam movie 10 times over one time watching the Superman movie. I did not like the Superman movie at all. There was a lot of, for me, I did not like it. So, and Luke has not wanted me to say my opinion on it because he doesn't want me to alienate people. But yeah, I did not like it at all. The Zack Snyder movie, I loved it. I thought it was amazing. I watched the 6-hour film. It was awesome. I even went back and watched some of Zack Snyder's other movies after that because I was just such a huge fan. You know, I really loved Zack Snyder's universe. I think Gal Gadot is the definitive Wonder Woman. I think she's changed Wonder Woman forever, made her likable, made Wonder Woman cool again. It doesn't make Wonder Woman look like, no offense, but Wonder Woman before her, live action Wonder Woman was kind of like, oh, like, it seemed like your mom is playing Wonder Woman, or she's kind of like prissy or dorky. Wonder Woman was cool with Gal Gadot. You know, they had a cool Aquaman. Even Cyborg was very edgy in the Snyder Cut. But honestly, we didn't get to see enough of Cyborg because he had a whole thing that was cut out. And I think they put some of that into the Snyder Cut with the football scene. There was so much footage that was taken about Cyborg. They could have made almost a whole movie of that. Yeah, I thought it was... You know, I just think that WB has a curse on them, in a way, because every time they try to do something, and they have the talent, they have the ability, they usually have people that are more talented and more passionate than the people in Marvel. You know, like, no offense, but, you know, like, I've never really enjoyed, I would watch BBS or the Snyder Cut over any Marvel movie. That year that I went to see the Snyder Cut and stuff like that, or I didn't get to see the Snyder Cut in theaters, but I saw the Justice League movie in theaters with Luke. I saved my money for Black Adam, and I saw the Justice League. I did not see any of the Marvel movies that year because I just prefer DC over Marvel. There's a lot of reasons why. Marvel is very marketable. Marvel is very, I'm not allowed to say my opinion because people get offended. But Marvel is more for the masses of people. Like, it's liked by the masses. But I feel like if you want to see, like, a film that makes you feel something, that makes you, like, it just, like, kind of, like, shakes you to your core and makes you feel something, like, very powerful, I feel like then you should see, a Batman movie, a DC movie. You know, the Nolan films were great. I love Batman Begins. I love Batman 1989 with Keaton. I love the Batman animated series. I love the animated Justice League. But no, I didn't like, I loved BBS. But no, I did not like the new Superman movie at all. Like, at all. Maybe there was a few interesting scenes in it that were kind of cool, but in general, the movie in general, I did not enjoy it at all. There were too many negative things about the movie, and I just didn't like the movie in general. Like, I didn't find very many of the characters. Like, for me, I have to actually care about the characters. I didn't care about any of the characters, really. Like, none of the characters had enough redeeming qualities that made me feel like, oh, I'm rooting for this person. You know. And, like, for, like, the Guardians of the Galaxy, like, that worked because they didn't have any redeeming qualities because they were just out in the galaxy and they were just, you know, in this crazy adventure, and they were a ragtag group of people, and they didn't really have any moral standards. They were just in it for the money, so it worked. But for Superman, James Gunn doesn't know how to do Superman, because Superman, they made his morals like it was a joke. Like, oh, I'm gonna save this squirrel. Like he's some kind of joke. Whereas Henry Cavill's Superman was not a joke. You know, he was very powerful and honestly very terrifying, and you know, and like you guys were saying in the chat before, like the Superman from the first Superman movie, Christopher Reeves, was not a joke. He was very powerful. He was you know, very stoic and brave. You know, there's been a lot of Superman versions that are amazing. Animated series, Superman the Animated Series. Superman from the Justice League was great. I didn't really watch it very much, but Superman from what was that thing where he's growing up and he has Smallville was great. And the Lex from the Smallville was great. And the Lex Luthor from the Justice League was great. And the Superman animated series was great. The Lex from Henry Cavill's universe with Man of Steel was not that great. You know, they could have had a better Lex, honestly, but I don't know what to say. I really did not like the Lex from this universe at all. At all. I did not like him. You know, I just don't, you know, I just didn't, there's just so many things wrong with Lex that I can't even go into it. Why he just wasn't a very good Lex Luthor. So, I mean, like, usually in most, like, huge films, the villain is the most seasoned actor on the show or the movie, and he carries the film because the villain is, I mean, look at Robert Downey Jr. He's going to be the villain of the new Marvel universe. And why is he going to play the villain? Because the villain has to be played by a very seasoned actor who knows how to play all the emotions of a villain and how to be truly evil, so you love to hate the character. You know, you didn't really love to hate this Lex. Like, you didn't want to see him on screen, and you didn't get chills when you saw him or think he was terrifying. He is just kind of like violent and very whiny. So I just did not like Lex Luthor at all. I mean, maybe he'll change and be better, but no, I still not like him. So, I mean, the fans obviously, like, everyone seemed to like the movie, but I don't know. I don't know why. No one can give me a reason why they liked it. You know, everyone's just liking it because they're supposed to like it, but I don't really feel like there's any reason that people actually like the movie. Like, I feel like there's this thing, like, people were talking about it with, Nintendo, like, I was just watching somebody talk about it with Nintendo. They were saying that, they were saying that people are literally, like, like they're criticizing Nintendo because of Pokemon. And then people are coming back at them and being like, you're hurting Pokemon, you're hurting Nintendo, you're hurting them. Like, how dare you criticize them? And they're like defending Nintendo and Pokemon like they're a person. And that's how people are defending this Superman movie. It's like, if you say anything against the Superman movie, people are defending the movie like it's a person. And it's not. It's a movie, you know? So it is, I find it strange that people are just defending the movie so much. You know, the thing that was missing from Zack Snyder's universe, which I feel like was most missing from his universe. Well, two things were missing. Number one, you really should have, they should have been able to figure out that, what's his name? The guy who played the Flash was a huge problem. Not that he wasn't, I mean, some people say he's a horrible actor. I don't know. He was an okay actor. But the main problem that was going on with him was that he was doing all these illegal things behind the scenes, like, you know. So it was like, I forgot what his name is, the guy who played the Flash. That was a huge issue with the Zack Snyder universe. It's like the guy who played the Flash was a problem. You know. Like that was one big problem with that universe. And then, like, they should have found a way to replace the actor to save the film. But you had, it was controlled by David Zaslav at the time.
30 seconds
So
before you attack. Get ready.
he wouldn't replace people because he wanted to save money, because that's what he was about. But he was used to, like, David Zaslav was used to running Discovery Channel, and Discovery Channel, nobody cares about the actors or the characters. They're just throwing, you know, like, random stuff on TV, like, you know, like, oh, My Strange Addiction, or, you know, like, oh, you know, like, reality, you know, like, you know, I forgot, they Planet, you know, like, footage of animals, and what do animals do in the dark, and, like, just some random stuff. Like, he was just posting random, you know, it's just random content, you know, for Discovery Channel. So it's just learning channel. So nobody cares about the voiceover actors that are doing the Discovery Channel. You know, you replace them, you can easily replace them with somebody else. But people do care about comic book characters. I don't think that David Zaslav understood that dealing with a comic book character is different than dealing with a, you know, reality TV Discovery Channel show. You know, it's like, he really needed to replace the actor who was playing the Flash, because he was causing all kinds of problems behind the scenes. But the main thing with the story that we didn't have in the Snyder Cut was the Green Lantern, obviously. But Warner Brothers was the problem behind that. David Zaslav continued to say that, you know, like, Warner, actually, it wasn't David Zaslav, it was the Warner Brothers executive, kept saying, you can't use Green Lantern to Zack Snyder. You can't use him. You know, he was going to put, I believe, one of the Green Lanterns, either Hal Jordan, Jessica Cruz, or Jon Stewart. He was going to put one of the Green Lanterns in, even one of the alien Green Lanterns. I don't know. I forgot what his name is, the alien Green Lantern. But he was going to put one of the Green Lanterns in his Justice League. And you really can't have a Justice League without the Green Lantern. Like, he's an extremely important member of the Justice League. And then he did put a Green Lantern flying around in the background of, you know, the scenes in the Snyder Cut. But, you know, you couldn't obviously see. It was in the background, and we didn't get to meet a Green Lantern. Because we didn't have a Green Lantern, he added a Martian Manhunter. But it really wasn't the same, because you really do need Green Lantern. So, you know, like, honestly, Warner Brothers really messed themselves up with not allowing Zack Snyder to add Green Lantern into the Justice League. That was a huge problem. But I loved the everything about the Justice League. I thought, you know, Batman recruiting people was great. I thought him, you know, him being brave enough as a human being with no superpowers, and the idea of him, you know, coming up and asking all these superpowered beings to, you know, be in this Justice League together was really cool, and I really liked a lot of the scenes of that. So yeah, I would have loved that. That would have been great. But you know, it is what it is. Like, you know, I think being a DC fan is harder than, you know, being a Marvel fan, because I feel like Marvel, they always know how to market their stuff to people. They always have bright and shiny characters. I mean, right now we're playing Marvel Rivals. They always know they have different characters with different powers. Everything is super marketable. It's really easy to see the difference with the characters. They all have their strengths and weaknesses. They all, you know, they all work in the same universe. DC universe is different because, you know, it's about these dramatic, heart-wrenching stories that kind of shake you to your core and make you feel, and it's really hard to market that, really. I think DC has the best stories. I love Batman the Animated Series. I always watch the Justice League and the Batman the Animated Series, especially when I'm having a bad day. It definitely makes me feel calm. It's very heroic. You know, for me, like a lot of people, they prefer Marvel characters because they're more relatable. I prefer DC characters because they are so OP. They are like gods. They are extremely powerful. They are like unbelievably powerful. You know, Wonder Woman and Superman are just, you cannot comprehend how powerful Superman is. And then you have the entire Green Lantern Corps, and like, it's unimaginable the power that all these you know, characters have. So I don't know, like, I think Zack Snyder did a great job with the Snyder Cut. You know, that would have been a great several movie series. I don't think he would have done a 10-year series like Marvel. I don't think he would have done a James Gunn thing, but I think he would have made several great DC movies that DC fans could enjoy, and we didn't get to see that, so he just compiled all of the footage into a 6-hour movie for us, and that was great. And honestly, I have closure from watching that. I think that's why he released it, to give everyone like closure from that. Like, for me, it's almost like painful for me to, like, he's teasing stuff, but to him, I really think he's just teasing it. Great job, Charles. I really think he's just teasing, because I think he knows in his heart nobody's gonna pick up, you know, number one, like, you know, like, a lot of the people, like, a lot of the great writers for, DC, and the people that are, you know, that really make a, you know, impact on DC, are, you know, they believe in some kind of like forces of good and evil in some way. You know, Zack Snyder, I believe he is Catholic. Matt Reeves is Catholic. Even what's his name? The guy who plays Batman, Ben Affleck, is grew up Catholic, I think, or some kind of religious, I think, Christian or Catholic. So, you know, you have these huge, like, DC is very, like, light versus darkness. Marvel is more like, oh, there's a bunch of people with superpowers, you know, doing some fun shenanigans. DC is more like, this is good, this is evil, this is black, this is white. You know, it's very like DC makes you think about morality, you know, like, even the way that it was written with, you know, when in the movie where Superman and Zod were fighting, and Superman and, you know, Zod were causing all this destruction in Metropolis, and you saw Batman looking at this, you know, Bruce Wayne was looking at all this destruction. You could tell that even with just that look of where he's saving a child and he's trying to help people in Metropolis, and the fact that he said, you know, like with BVS, where he said, you know, if there's a possibility, you know, that he could become rogue and evil and destroy humanity, we have to take that as an absolute, you know, you know, like, it's an idea of good versus evil, like, for according to Bruce Wayne, you know, he's seeing, like, well, in my opinion, this is my opinion, but he is seeing, like, Zod and Superman as both evil. He's actually seeing them both as if they're both evil, because it's almost like there's no difference between Zod and Superman, because they're both destroying and putting people's lives in danger. So it's this morality thing, you know. Whereas in a lot of Marvel films, you don't have this morality thing where you're constantly thinking about what is right and wrong. Whereas DC, you always have that. That's what Batman is all about. 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. Alright, guys, so let's try to get in. We've got Lord Draken, K2 Warren, Web Howler. So we can get one more person in, and then we'll switch. Okay, alright, we can either get Charles in or Jacob Orion. Okay. Alright, guys, so we'll get Jacob Orion, we'll get Charles in next time, okay? So, yeah, I mean, like, so you're gonna, honestly, anytime, you know, like, I'm not to get weird or anything, but, you know, when you start talking about things that are right and wrong in life, you know, life is not gonna go very well for you, because, I don't know, there's some kind of forces in the world that don't like it when you start talking about what's right and wrong. And, you know, DC always gets into what's right and wrong. Zack Snyder always gets into that. You know, like, a lot of these, you know, a lot of these people that work for DC and write these great stories, they can't help themselves. They want to tell stories about right versus wrong, good versus evil, justice versus injustice. They want to tell these stories that pull on your heartstrings, and it's not just pulling on your heartstrings. It's reveal, like, truth to you. Reveal some kind of truth about morality. So these people that make these stories, it is great. Like, I think a lot of these DC directors, like Zack Snyder and you know, Ben Affleck and
Pick your hero.
you know, like
villain. I'm
Matt
not
Reeves. A lot of these directors, you know, they do want to tell stories about right and wrong,
Wind,
and
cloud,
because
and
of this,
storm. Hear
it's
my
not going to be
command.
marketable. Like, because people have a problem with telling stories about right and wrong. People have a problem with, I mean, even in the Nolan film, in which Bane was, you know, they were dragging people out of their houses and creating chaos, and they were telling a story about what happens when you say, you know, Bane was trying to say that, you know, life is unfair to him, therefore he should be able to drag people out of their houses and create chaos in the world and take people from their homes, and, you know, life wasn't fair to him, so he should take something from somebody else, and he should get back at society and rip people's homes away and kill people.
It's good to see you too, Spidey. But,
And so, like, when Nolan did that storyline,
Lords and men.
you had so many people in the press that actually were writing so many bad things about him. We're saying that he, you know, is trying to be, you know, he's trying to say that, you know, they were trying to say that Nolan was trying to say that Bane is a socialist or a communist. They were writing all this stuff about him because he was making an actual point. Like, just because his point in that story was, just because life is unfair to you doesn't mean you can go around killing and destroying other people. And some people believe that you can do that. Some people, I mean, there are people right now that are,
Looks like the mission
you know, you
area
can't
is
even
yours
say it
to
out loud.
capture
Like,
now.
there are people right now that are looting the stores and everything and saying, like, if I don't get my EBT card, you know, if I don't get my $1,500 a month on my EBT, I'm gonna go looting and killing Walmart employees and killing them for food. You know, they have the same mentality as Bane does. You know, and Nolan was trying to make a point, like, you can't, just because you're starving and someone's hurting you, and, you know, life was unfair to you, and life did not give you a fair shake, you cannot go and take and kill somebody for food. You cannot do that. You cannot go to the level of them and also rip other people's things away from them and kill them for their stuff. Like, we're not animals. He was trying to say there's right and there's wrong. And, you know, because Nolan did that, he got all this bad press because people hated him. Because people, you know, especially like journalists, they don't want to hear about right versus wrong. They would much rather hear a story about Guardians of the Galaxy where there's a bunch of people and it's hilarious because they're all, you know, from prison and they all do bad things and they all have fun together and they make money and they ride around in the galaxy. There's no real right versus wrong in that story. You know, there are some good things that happen. There are some, you know, like character development. Obviously the story is well written, but it is not a story about good versus evil.
We'll take it.
But for DC, it is. DC stories are good versus evil. So, you know, you're not gonna be able to, I just don't think that it's possible. Unless you had, like, you know, at least 4 or 5 good people that all had the same vision. Like, we're gonna write this good versus evil story and it's gonna be amazing and it's gonna like touch people's hearts and we're gonna tell this story about, you know, why it's important to have justice and why it's important to do the right thing. Unless you have 4 or 5 people on the board of Warner Brothers and they all are on the same page that that's their vision, you know, you're not gonna have 10 years of DC. You can't have 10 years of DC movies because generally you're only gonna have 1 or 2 people at any given moment that actually want to write a compelling story like that. And the problem with DC is when they try to pretend to be like Marvel, when they try to be colorful and they try to change who they are, and oh, we're not gonna write about morality anymore, we're just gonna write a fun hunky-dory story about some ragtag group of people and it doesn't really matter what's wrong or right anymore. When they try to do that, the DC fan base doesn't like that. They want to see, they want to feel, they want to think, they want to, you know, in a way, DC fans, they want to think about right and wrong, they want to think about the truth. You know, like a lot of what Batman is searching for, like, is the truth, you know, like he's searching to find the reason, like, how can I stop this from happening again? My parents were killed when I was a child. How can I stop crime? How can I stop this horrible cycle of people constantly robbing each other and killing each other and taking money and attacking each other? How can I help the city and so it's not so evil anymore, so people aren't doing this to each other? But, you know, like, Batman is seeking, like, some kind of understanding about why these things happen, and that, I feel like that's what DC is like, you know. That's why DC stories are very powerful, but we're never gonna have 10 years of that.
4, 3, 2,
But we had a great run with the animated series, and then we had a great run with, you had a great, obviously, Paul Dini, you know, made, and the writers on Batman the Animated Series did a great job writing those stories. And you obviously, you had another person that really cared about writing moral lessons into the stories, and that was the guy who did Teen Titans and wrote, you know, some of the, especially Justice League, the New Adventures of the Justice League, the second wave of them. Forgot what his name is. The guy who created Static Shock and wrote a lot of the Teen Titans. I can't even remember. Dwayne McDuffie. So you had some great leadership at, you know, one time, writing the animated stuff for DC. You know, DC doesn't have great leadership, except for, you know, Zack Snyder was a great leader, but his daughter died in a horrible, tragic way. So I mean, that was all it took. Honestly, all it took for the DC you know, universe to crumble was for Zack Snyder's daughter to die, really, and you know,
They've spotted us.
that's very. He had to put his family above the movie, which honestly, if he didn't put his family above the movie, he wouldn't be the kind of person that people admire, because that's one of the reasons that makes him a great person, is that he did put his family above the movie.
Shields up!
Still got what it takes, Violet.
But yeah, I agree, like, Ben Affleck would be a great director. Like, if Ben Affleck would take the reins. I mean, Ben Affleck is wealthy enough to obviously produce and write a movie.
Get him there.
You know, like, you know, but I guess he moved on because DC, I don't know. I mean, I guess he doesn't own Warner Brothers either. Like, you know, Ben Affleck doesn't own Warner Brothers. So he also has to wait until Warner Brothers wants him to do. You know, he pitched his movie several times. You know, they were gonna do a cool scene with. You know, I would have loved to see the fight scene between oh my gosh, Deathstroke and Batman. That would have been great. I think they had a guy that was gonna play Deathstroke, and he practiced for a long time. But they decided to scrap that. So yeah, I just don't. You know, sometimes in I think when stories are too good, you're never gonna actually. I honestly think that DC stories are better than the Marvel stories, a lot of them. And I think it's because the stories are that good and that powerful that you're never gonna actually see them made, because I feel like it just, there's too many people that are, it's like you have, it's because the stories are so good and so powerful, you have so much pressure behind who's gonna make that into a story. And there's so many people there's people on one side that are ready to treat the characters with respect and are ready to make a great story and do the characters justice on the silver screen and make a great live action film. And then there's people that are ready to, you know, they see a good versus evil story and they hate that. So they want to mess it up. They want to get involved in that, and they want to rewrite the characters so there is no version of good or evil. That they want to muddy the waters. They want to exploit it. They want to tell their version of events. They want to ruin the. It's almost like they want to ruin the characters, and then, you know. So, you know, we'll probably, it'll be much harder to get a good. It's much harder to do a good DC film than it is to do a Marvel film, because Marvel, there's not as much pressure. DC, there's much more pressure because the characters are far more powerful. You know, they're like gods among men. They're not like DC characters are not like normal people. Like they don't think like, you know, people. They have all this pressure to do, you know, what's honest and good and right. So they're, you know, it's going to be much harder to make a good DC film than a good Marvel film. Marvel, you know, all the characters are relatable. Spider-Man, very relatable. Superman, not relatable. Wonder Woman, not relatable. Batman, although a human being, not relatable. So, yeah, like, there's hardly anyone that could push himself to be the same as Batman. Oh. Hello, I'm Elliot. So, yeah, alright guys, great job. Jacob Orion was SVP. Great job, Jacob. And then we'll get Charles Demerson here next round. So, I mean, like, I've never... It's like, think about it like this, like, with like, Nintendo. Nintendo has a very powerful fan base, and very, you know, good versus evil and dramatic storytelling, just like DC does. But it has taken this long to get a live-action version of Zelda. Like, they're gonna finally do it. And are they gonna mess it up? Maybe. Are they gonna do a Link and Zelda justice? Maybe. We'll see. But honestly, the fans are gonna have extreme pressure on them. You know, it's not just like, you know, if you did like a Kirby movie, or you know, you did like a Bubsy the Bobcat live-action movie, or Pac-Man live-action movie, there wouldn't be that much pressure on it. But Link and Zelda represent, you know, good and evil, darkness and light. They represent, you know, like, true love, like, everything that people care about in the world. That's what The Legend of Zelda represents to people. It means so much to them. So, you know, however they do this movie, either the fans are going to be, if they mess it up, the fans are going to be extremely disappointed. You know. Or they're going to do it justice, and then the fans will still be nitpicky about it. Because not only the Link and Zelda represent good and evil, but also, like, not one of them is good and the other is evil, but they represent the light, or, you know, versus the darkness, which is Ganon. But also, they, you know, everyone has their favorite version of Zelda. It has so much nostalgia for people. So some people are gonna want Link to act more like Link to the Past Link. Some people are wanting him to act more like Twilight Princess Link. Some people love, like, Ocarina of Time Link, or Majora's Mask Link. So it's like, nobody is gonna actually be happy with the Zelda movie. And that's the same with the DC movie. Like, there's so many high expectations. So, you know. So that's, I mean, that's honestly the problem. Like, that for a DC movie, there's much higher expectations. Because, you know, honestly, DC originally was the more famous comic book company. Marvel came in later. Like, I mean, Marvel was, like, second best for a long time. Now, everyone knows Marvel because of great marketing at, you know, Disney and Marvel Studios with all the live action films they made. But before that, they didn't really, Marvel wasn't as, you know, popular. Like, DC was the popular comic book company for a long time. Alright, great job, Lord Draken, and did I show Lord Draken? I hope I did. Great job, Lord Draken, K2 Warren, Jacob, High Howler, and Storm. Okay, guys, alright, so we're gonna go back. Alright, guys, so we're gonna get Charles Demers in here. I wish I could be a healer, guys. Sorry about that. Okay, Charles Demers has been waiting. Alright, guys, so we'll get, alright, so why don't we, so whoever wants to, we'll get, High Howler in here. Hi, Kaya. I don't know if I'm doing it tomorrow because I have to work late tomorrow. So I just don't know, Kaya. Hi, Kaya the Dragon. Hope you're having a good day. I have to work late tomorrow, and like, honestly, I'm having like I haven't been able to tell my boss my schedule is not, it's not good for me to work the weekends because I can't help out on the channel as much. It's very difficult for me to explain like how important the YouTube channel is to my job, because like it's hard when when showcasing video games is your job, because people don't realize that that's actually your job. Like they think that you're just playing video games. Like, oh, I can't work because I need to play video games. Like, no, I need to actually do my home business. So it's very hard for me. Like, I don't know how to explain it in a way that people can understand. Like, it's very hard for me. Like, it's frustrating to me. So I'm being forced to work like basically all weekend, and I don't really have like an excuse not to work. So I eventually I'm gonna ask for like Sundays off, then I can at least, obviously I haven't been able to go to church for a long time because I've had to work every Sunday, but I needed the money because YouTube isn't paying, and if I don't have the extra money I can't pay rent, so I have no choice. But I'm gonna have to ask for Sundays off, so not only can I go to church again, but also so that I can actually work all day after that on the channel, because I do need to help out home again. So yeah. But I like tomorrow, Saturday, they have me working until 1, and honestly at my job it's super frustrating because like if I get off at 1, like not to be, you know, but like to answer your question, Kaya, and anyone else, like if I got on my job at 1, it's gonna take me at least 20 minutes to get home, so I won't get home till 1:20. I might have to pick up like cat food, or honestly I work so hard at my job that I'm literally exhausted and I don't get a break at all. I'm like, I don't get any lunch break, nothing, because it's so fast paced that I'm standing and I'm literally rushing around all, like, it's a very busy store, very busy restaurant, and like we have like literally hundreds of customers come like within a span of like 4 to 6 to 7 to 8 hours. It's just so many people. So like by the time I'm done, I'm so tired that I just sit in my car and I just stare at my windshield for like at least 40 minutes because I cannot move. I'm so tired. So I was kind of annoyed at my boss today because he's like, make sure to get some sleep. He said, tomorrow will be really busy. And I was thinking like, okay, well, I have a job that's extremely important at home. And like, I don't know, it's very hard for me. Like, if Luke was doing this job, like in the morning, he would easily be able to negotiate with his boss and tell him like, oh yeah, like I have these hours and you know, my job at home is extremely important. So, you know, like I need these times off. But it is much harder for me to negotiate with people because, you know, I just have the fear of, I don't know what I have the fear of. It's like, I feel like once you negotiate with your job, they kind of look down on you and are angry at you, and then after that it's a harder working environment, and then eventually you get, you know, treated worse, and eventually people hate you there and you get fired. That's kind of how I see. I've had that happen to me at a few different jobs where I explain to them, this is all I can do, and I'm not a team player. Like, I explain to them, these are my hours, and I can't do anything else than that. And they see me as not a team player, and they don't treat me very nice, and then eventually I just get fired. They just make up an excuse, and I get fired. So I don't want that to happen again, really. But I don't want to be taken advantage of, so it's really hard for me. But I would like to, like, eventually ask for Sundays off. I would love to ask for Sunday and Monday off. That way I have, like, 2 days that I can really work hard. Like Saturday night, I could work all night on the channel, work all day Sunday after church, and then work,
Somewhere in the world is
you
a little
know,
girl like
part
I once
part of
was.
Monday. So that'd be
I
3
fight
days
for
I could
her.
work a ton on the channel and get it up on the weekends. Like that would be ideal for me. But jobs don't care what's ideal for
30
you.
seconds
They only
before
care
you
what's
attack.
ideal for
Get
them.
ready.
Like for them, you know. So it's just
Every
frustrating.
time I see you, I think to myself,
So
as
for
long
right
as
now,
Spider-Man's
Kaya,
still
I don't
around,
know if I
everything
can
will
work.
be all right.
If I'll be streaming tomorrow because
I don't mean it
I
that
work
way.
every day.
You just mean a lot to a lot
So
of
it is
people.
very hard for me. Like I look at DC the same way I look at my channel. Like my channel's not a normal YouTube channel. Like my channel's more like DC. I don't exactly talk about good and evil all the time, but when prompted or when I feel the need to, and when somebody's asking me a question about right and wrong, I definitely do talk about it because it's important to me. And most YouTubers will not do that. Like, you know, most YouTubers will not, you know, somebody says like, my family member is dying, can you please pray for me? Most YouTubers will not pray for you. They will not care, you know. They probably care, but they feel like this isn't my job description. I'm not going to go out of my way and, you know, say a prayer for somebody or tell somebody that I care that they're going through something. Whereas for me, Luke and I started this YouTube channel before a YouTuber was a word. There was no such word as YouTuber when Luke and I started this channel. We started the channel in 2007. YouTube was invented in 2005. So, you know, there was no such thing as a YouTuber in 2007. So when we were on YouTube, we just made video. We were human beings making videos. So we were just being ourselves. So if somebody had a problem or a question, we would just be ourselves. That's how I always have done this channel. Like I don't have a need. Like a lot of YouTubers, they have a need like to like always like be distant from their fan base or always you know, like not, you know, like if their fans bring up a certain thing, like, you know, like my viewers bring up stuff all the time. Like, you know, like I have viewers ask me like, oh, how do I, you know, like what happens if I don't know how to, you know, use like a color catcher at the laundromat? Like, how do I do that? Like, if I know the answer and they're in my chat, I'll definitely tell them like, oh, this is how you use fabric softener at the laundromat. Like, I will literally tell them. Like, I will explain how to do it. Because I'm just a person and they're a person, so there's no reason for me not to interact with them and tell them, like, if I know how to use it, I might as well tell them. But most people, most quote YouTubers will not do that. They have like this hard line that they make between themselves and their audience, and they don't want their audience to see them as a person. They want their audience to see them as like a YouTuber, like a celebrity, which they're really not. They're a person with a microphone, and they're not really a celebrity. They're not singing on stage. They're not, you know, they're not Tom Cruise. They're not being paid by a multi-million-dollar company like, you know, Warner Brothers to act out as Batman. They're not really a celebrity, but they're creating themselves to be a celebrity by making a hard line between them and their audience. So, you know, but I don't really, I've never done that. Luke has never really done that. Luke has a great radio voice. You know, obviously a lot better than mine. He has great gaming knowledge. He has, you know, he has a great and fun personality, and he loves talking about Batman. And honestly, just your talent alone, or your charisma, or just your knowledge about a subject should be enough. Like, you shouldn't have to make this line between you and your audience and be like, you guys are down here and I'm up here. That's kind of crazy and ridiculous, you know. We're all people. So, you know, I think that for me, I have the same curse as DC Comics, where, you know, if somebody asks me a question, I'm going to give an honest answer about either right and wrong, or about family problems, or about how to use laundry detergent or how to change your oil in your car. And I'm gonna be like a human being, and that's gonna be a problem. Like, it's gonna make it so the channel isn't really marketable, you know? It's never gonna quite be marketable because Luke and I are just ourselves. So, you know, I feel like I have the same curse as DC in a way. Except for DC's way more popular than us.
Still got a chance.
But I feel like if I change and become like other YouTubers, I'll lose the very thing that made people want to watch in the first place, which was me and Luke being ourselves. And I feel that about DC. I feel that if they change, I feel like if DC stays true to themselves, they can be truly great. But if they change and they try to be like Marvel, then the greatness will be muddied with ungreatness. That they'll lose sight of their path, and they will not be able to be truly great. And I feel the same way about our channels. Like, I think that our channel has the potential to be truly great because we have great viewers. We are true to ourselves. We are just regular people. We don't act like other YouTubers. If we stay true to ourselves, the channel can be truly great. But if we try to act like everyone else online, we're going to lose track. We'll lose sight of why we did this in the first place. And that's how I feel about DC. It's like, if DC stays true to themselves, they can be truly great. They can be greater than Marvel. But if they lose sight and they look at Marvel and they look at other companies and they try to mimic them, they're gonna lose track of what makes people love DC. They're gonna lose track of their purpose. They'll lose, and they have. They keep looking. I see, and I said it a long time ago. Like, DC is like, like, I grew up in a high school in which there was 2,000 kids at the high school. There were so many kids, and then when you had lunch, there were so many kids in that lunchroom. You know, they were bussed in from all different towns. We were the biggest town in like 15 counties, and they bussed everyone in that area. So that it was from tons of towns all over, and everyone went to that one high school. So there was tons of people there, and there was, you know, a certain table that was a popular kids table. But then there were other tables in which kids, you know, there was like a table for kids that, you know, liked art. There was a table where a lot of kids sat at that liked music and orchestra and band. And there was a table where kids sat at that liked, you know, like theater. And there was like a table for like people that liked drama or math club or, you know, other things like that. There was different kinds of people that sat at different tables. But you know what I always found strange is like I didn't really want to sit at the popular girls table. My mom actually asked me to sit at the popular girls table because my mom was a popular girl. You know, she was the daughter of a doctor, and everything went well for her, and she was always popular. That didn't happen for me because my parents didn't have the most money. So you can't really be popular if you don't have a lot of money. Like, that, it's impossible. It's literally next to impossible. Like, it is almost impossible for that to happen. So, because you need the right clothes, you need the right look, you can't really just randomly be popular without, you know, your Air Jordans or your, you know, flare pants or your Gucci bag or whatever it is, your sunglasses, whatever. In America, like in other countries, they have a dress code, but not at my high school. So, you know, I found it strange that like I sat at the orchestra girls table, so because I was in orchestra, so like I always found it odd that like some of the girls in my class would always be obsessing about the popular girls and looking over at their table and thinking like, oh, if only I was like sitting there. And I had actually asked the girls at the popular table to sit with them, and they were really rude to me. They said that, no, all these seats are taken, and they pulled a seat in. So they were real jerks to me. Like, they were just extremely rude. They were mean, you know, they were mean girls like in that movie. So like, I didn't like them anymore. Like, I would never want to sit with them. Even if they gave me $1 million, I wouldn't sit with them because I hated them. They were mean and evil. I didn't care how pretty they were. They were so mean. So, alright, great job, Lord Draken. What a high holler, Charles and Cosmic. Awesome job, everyone. So, my point is, the girls at my table were always, like, looking at them like, oh, I wish I could be like them. But if you actually met them, you would never want to be like them because they're not as great as you think they are. And I feel like DC has this problem where they always look at Marvel like, let's be like them. And they're looking at them and they're like, we just need to do what they're doing. And it's like, no, you need to be yourselves. Like, you can be great on your own. Like, you can be a more, like, you could actually have a better friend group over here at the orchestra table or at the art table or at the science kids table. You could have a better friend group and have a better time in high school being yourself than worrying about the popular kids table. So I really think that DC needs to do that. Like, I really think they need to stop obsessing about the popular kids table over there at Marvel. They need to be themselves. Like, DC fans do not want to be Marvel fans. They want to be DC fans. So, you know, it's... They need to get a grip on reality and realize their fans do not want to watch a Marvel movie. Their fans want to watch a DC movie. So, you know, they really need to get a reality check and realize, you know, they have to stop obsessing about Marvel. And I think the fans need to stop obsessing too. You know, like, they need to stop. Let's get Lord Draken in here, I guess. If Lord Draken wants to come in, and if not, we'll get someone else. So that's my honest opinion. Like, I think DC, if they hold true to themselves and they just focus, like, we're gonna make the greatest movie of all time. We're gonna block out all the weird negativity where people keep comparing us to Marvel, and we're just gonna focus on making a great movie. And one movie at a time. You don't have to make a 10-year plan of movies. Make one movie that will evolve into the next great movie that will evolve into the next one. And honestly, like, that's how you're gonna have to do it, one thing at a time. You know, you're not gonna have Kevin Feige over there at DC, like, making a 10-year plan of movies. So, yeah, that's just my personal opinion. I just think DC needs to get, like, a grip on themselves. They need to believe in themselves. They need to just figure out what the DC fans want and make that for the fans. But they're too obsessed about competing with Marvel that's never going to happen. As long as they're obsessed about competing, they're never going to make a great movie. When they stop competing and they just focus on themselves, they'll make a great movie.
And regent of the
That's how I
system.
feel. So.
But I am always Aurora.
And that's the same with my channel, like our channel, Luke and myself. Like, I notice every time I have to stop a stream because of views or whatever, it's stressful and frustrating. You know, I'm having a great time and I suddenly have to stop because of, you know, and I get it, like, I have to make money and stuff like that on every stream, but for me, like, I just want to focus on my community, my fans, just making videos of games that make me happy. For me, that's why I really like working a side job, because then I can worry about making money somewhere else. Yes, I need the money from the channel and my other job, but I don't have to worry about it as much. Like, I don't have to make it doesn't have to be as much on the channel. If you know, I'm just hoping and praying, like, you know, I hope that Luke, like, for Luke, he can't, like, for him, he's like a business, and he's great, like, Kwings, he's a business owner, his soul, he likes to hyper focus on things, so it's like, he's focusing on the channel. For him, it's night and day, thinking of what video are we gonna post, what great, you know, a Batman video are we gonna do. So he's the idea man. He's always thinking of ideas to improve the channel and do great things. Like, right now, he's doing that great dispatch game, which is really awesome. You know, like, and for him, for if Luke wasn't night and day focusing on the channel wouldn't be here. So, I just... But I wish, in an alternate universe, I kind of wish that Luke would just, you know, somehow find another online, like, side hustle, and then he could just make his money there, and then he could just focus on making, like, Retro Mondays, and one video at a time, even if it was, like, one video a month. And then he wouldn't have to worry about it as much. But it's frustrating. I mean, being shadow banned is frustrating. It really is. It's hard because if you go from videos every day to one video a month, everyone who wanted Retro Mondays is going to be disappointed because they're going to be like, well, I wanted Retro Mondays, but I didn't want it like this. I didn't want you to stop making all the other videos. So yeah.
Enemy in front of us.
Time for my biggest
Yeah,
hit.
Storm's outfit is super cute, honestly. Yeah, speaking of that, guys and gals, don't forget to watch the shorts in the background if you're able to. The shorts playlist is right at the top of the stream, and it helps the channel immensely to either become a member, subscribe, share the video, like the video, and of course to watch the shorts in the background. If you have another tab and you really want to help the channel, like watching the shorts in the background is like helps so much.
You've got competition. Clear disappear. More resources.
Like if you put that shorts playlist going on in the background instead of only one view for 2 hours
I am ready.
of the stream, the channel will get maybe 17 views if you watch 17 shorts in that time. So it will, and if everyone does that, it can move the views up from under 500 to like over 2,000 an hour. And if the channel does that, then YouTube will actually start promoting our videos in the search engine and we'll do much better. So, you know, if you want to help the channel, please watch the shorts playlist. It helps so much. Thank you, everyone.
Group up, I need backup. I don't need dancers. A nice deep freeze.
The moon haunts you.
Oh. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to not give that guy thumbs up. Sorry, Dragon Lord.
Resources are nearly tapped out here too. Sorry.
Sorry, I didn't see the chat
You'll
on
have to
Dragon
keep
Lord.
fighting
Sorry
until we
about
have
that.
winner.
Your powers are mine.
Well, you can't expect to win them all.
I'm doing okay, Crossfighter. I'm just worn out from my job in the morning. Alright, okay, guys and gals, alright, let's, alright, so let's check out, we got Jacob Orion. One thing I do like about working a different job is that, like, life is so hard for me right now because of the economy and, like, just everything is stressful. And, like, I have to pay back all these business expenses and it's just very stressful. I have so many bills that, like, when I get stressed out, I was very stressed out on the streams, and now, because I work another job, I'm stressed out at that job. That job takes all my... I'm very stressed when I'm at work. I'm running around, I'm working extremely hard. I'm not making that much money there, but I'm pushing myself to just make, you know, ends meet, pay the bills or whatever. But I'm pushing myself there, and then when I get home, I am very relaxed. I can relax, I can hang out with my community. I already made some money, even if it's a little, in the morning to pay bills and stuff, so it's like I don't feel as stressed, as, like when I had to depend on, like, it's very stressful. YouTube is very stressful because you want to believe that YouTube is like, oh, I'm gonna turn on my stream, and then people are gonna come in my stream, and I'm just gonna magically make money, and then I could just hang out with my community, and it will just be this glorious dream that just keeps happening. Oh, the bummy player was a jerk? So this player wasn't a jerk then? Okay. But it's like, that doesn't always happen, because sometimes you put your, it's like you put your stream up. Great job. We had, let's see, in this match we had, Jacob Orion, Crossfighter, Lord Draken, and Spider Fergie. Oh, I'm sorry I didn't do the thing. I'm sorry I didn't showcase everyone. I'm sorry, guys. Alright, so, that was Lord, let's see. We did, Lord Draken. Let's see what we did for everyone. Oh, maybe we did do some highlights. I'm sorry. I am literally so tired at this point. Alright, so we did Jacob, Crossfighter, Draken, Fergie. Jacob, Crossfighter, Draken, Fergie. Alright, so let's actually... Oh my gosh. I have to get a new controller. Alright, it is already... I don't know what time it is, guys. Alright, 3:49. Okay. Alright, so we did Jacob, Draken, Crossfighter, Fergie. Okay, so let's get in Charles, if Charles wants to get in here. Let's get in Cosmic. Let's get in High Howler. And we can get in one more person. Alright, okay, so we've got, Charles, Cosmic, High Howler, and, we got in Cosmic? Okay, so we'll just get in, we'll get in Jacob Orion, and if not, we'll get in somebody else. So we'll get in Jacob if he wants to play, and if not, we'll get in, somebody else. Okay. Honestly, I feel like we should do a team of 6. Do you guys... I feel like we could do a team of 6 at the end, but I don't know, guys. I'll just do this team. I don't know if this will be our last one, because I didn't realize I lost track of time, guys. Yeah, good game, everyone. Okay. Okay, guys. Okay, so we're gonna start the match. I don't know if this will be our last match, but we'll see, guys. So yeah, I don't know what I was gonna say. Yeah, so that's a problem with YouTube, why it's stressful, is like the most stressful thing about doing YouTube for a job, honestly. If YouTube worked correctly, it would be the dream job, because you just turn on the video, and then people would just come in and be like, hey, you're playing a game? I'll play with you, and let's go for it. But sometimes you turn on your stream, and nobody shows up. There's nobody there. And then you always have these people, like, always saying stuff like, well, maybe everyone's at work, maybe everyone's at school, maybe everyone's sleeping. It's like everyone in the whole world is sleeping, like, that plays this game. That doesn't make any sense. Like, obviously, sometimes things are really weird with YouTube, and they don't tell anyone about your video, and it's super annoying. Like, it's frustrating, and like, it wouldn't be that frustrating if it was like, if you weren't doing it for, you know, you were depending on it for like your income. So it's like, so that's why I kind of like doing something else on the side. It's like, then say I do stream after work and nobody shows up. I don't have to like hit the roof, you know, I don't have to like hit my hand on the wall and punch the wall or something and be like, darn it, nobody showed up. I don't have to be stressed out about it. I can just be like, well, YouTube is glitchy, but I already worked today, so I'm just gonna have fun playing on my own. If nobody shows up, then I'll just kind of hang out and show off Storm on my own and just relax. I really feel like games are supposed to be relaxing. They're supposed to be like a, you know, something to take your mind off of life. So, you know, like, I really think that was for Luke, like, how I have, like, my morning job right now, and then I have the Let's Play channel after that. I feel like that was Luke in the past. Like, Nightwing 01 was his morning job, where he forced himself to try to make money over there. And then Let's Play channel was his relaxing place, where he hung out with me afterwards. And honestly, I think that was a really, like, I even was nervous when he, you know, when he was like, oh, the Let's Play channel is doing so well, I don't really need to do my other thing. But I think, like, he did, because I think, like, even if he only made 1 penny over there, I think it feels good to get your work done somewhere else and then relax. Like, this can be a relaxing channel. Like, Let's Play channel can be a relaxing place. Then I just feel like it's more, it makes it more fun that way. Like, you have more fun if you already did your work for the day. You already did a bunch of stuff that was stressful. You wrote reviews. You know, worked hard, and now you can just hang out and relax. I really like that a lot better. Like, you know, honestly, I would love to help Luke write reviews over on Nightwing 01 or help him in some way, but I'm just of no help at all. Like, I do not know how to write a good review over there. I don't know what I'm doing. So, unfortunately, I wish I could help him to bring Retro Mondays back and do the work for that. I just am so bad at it that I can't help at all. So, that's just frustrating. I don't have the talent that he has to do that. So that's the frustrating part. Like, I wish, literally, if I knew somebody who was good at writing reviews and could help him bring some of his series back, like, I would hire them or something so that he could, you know, bring some of the series. He loves working over there. So, anyways, I'm just babbling on. But yeah, I really do like the Storm costume. It's very cutesy. Like, I'm not trying to be weird, but I feel like a little kindergartner girl would, like, wear this. Like, it has all these feathers and, like, bows and braids, and I feel like Storm would wear this as a little girl or something. But I think she looks cute in it as an adult. I feel like it's very cute. I don't know, what do you guys think of Storm's costume? I think she looks very cute and pretty in it.
Extermination!
And guys and girls, we did unlock, I just unlocked the Ultron skin. That's part of the new, like, Ultron skin that you unlock in the, oh my gosh, what is it called? Like, the events area? That, mini battle pass where you unlock, like, an Ultron skin. I just unlocked it today. So now we can do an Ultron video. And Ultron is actually a healer in this game, believe it or not. Like, you guys know. I mean, I don't know anything about, like, what Luke is thinking. Like, I have to literally go up, like, when Kwing is sleeping, and I don't know, like, if the stream isn't scheduled, I don't know what it is. Because you guys have to know that, like, Kwing is very spontaneous of a person. Like, even though Luke works very hard on this channel, he's very spontaneous. His channel has always been just for fun and spontaneity. So, like, literally, like, he could change the streams at any time. Even if they're already set up, he can always change it and switch them around. Like, you know, the newsletter went out today. If you want to keep track of, if you don't have the newsletter, you can literally join that for, it's free. InWhenSLet'sPlays.com. It's a free newsletter.
Feel the wrath of the goddess!
So, you know, if you don't have that, you can definitely join that, and then you'll know exactly what is being planned for the day, not the week. But, you know, like, I don't really know what Luke would be showing off in Fortnite. Maybe Krusty the Clown, if he wanted to show off Krusty. I don't know what other characters. He usually showcases new characters. Hi, Julia. Hi, everyone. But, like, Luke does not think, like, I mean, those of you guys who may have ADD in the chat, like, Luke has ADD, so he's very, like, he doesn't think the way I do. Like, I plan ahead for months. I would plan ahead for months and, like be like, okay, this month we're gonna do this, this month we're gonna do this. He does have an idea of what he's gonna do every month, but it's in his head. He doesn't have it written down. Only he knows. Like, he will tell, like, Luke, that's one of the reasons why it's hard for me to actually have a job, like, outside of my house, is because I don't actually know how to communicate with people very well, because when you have attention deficit, you cannot communicate that well. Like, I love the way that my husband communicates. I think it's very cute. He's kind of like a, like, misunderstood genius, kind of. I always end up working for people that act a lot like him. I worked for a orthodontist that acted a lot like him, where he was very particular about his tools and his letters and all of his business appointments. And now I work for a guy that runs a restaurant with his family, who's extremely particular about everything. His cups, you know, how much milk is being used, how much, you know, all of where the sandwich meat is, all the dates on everything. And that's how Luke is. He's very particular, and he's very precise, and he has everything in order. Like, he is, I think that my husband is a, you know, I'm sure every wife does, but I think my husband is a genius. Like, he's very intelligent, but he doesn't communicate like everyone else. So, like, I will not know exactly what we're streaming until like 3 seconds before Luke says we're streaming this. Like, I will not know. He will not, like, tell me. So, unfortunately, I don't know. So, and if I try to ask him in his mind, because I'm not a viewer, because I'm not one of his fans, I'm his wife, he doesn't generally get back to me, because it's not that important for me to know what we're streaming, because I'm his wife. So, but if you guys ask him, he sees that as, like, part of his business. Like, oh yeah, one of my viewers wants to know what I'm streaming, so I need to get back to them. It's a business question. So, like, literally, if you guys ask him what he's streaming, he is more likely to answer you than me, because of his mentality about his job. Like, he sees YouTube as a business.
With the amazing
So, like, for me, if I just ask him, like, hey, what are you streaming next week? Are you doing Fortnite? Like, he will not generally answer me. He'll be like, oh, sorry, I'm making thumbnails right now. I'm doing a newsletter right now. I'm getting back to an email right now. I can't talk right now. I can't answer you right now. But if you guys ask him, he will literally tell you what he'll do the best he can to tell you. So, like, I don't know how to explain it, but you guys, he is more likely to answer you about the schedule than me, because of the way his mind works, where he sees it as, like, not like, it's not very important for me to know, because I'm not a viewer. So, like, even though I do work with him, it's like a non-important question. It would be like me asking him, what is your favorite color? He doesn't have time to respond to that.
A nice deep
So yeah, so I would definitely ask him. Like, I've asked, I tell people all the time, like, definitely, like, ask him, like, over on his Twitter or over on, like, if you guys really want to know what he's thinking, like, ask him over on, like, a comment to a video or on a stream, and because I will never know.
escaping
Like,
us
I think
now.
that's one of the reasons why I always get frustrated, like, when people ask me to ask him on stream. The best thing to do would just be ask him. Like, just say, Luke, what are you planning on streaming? Or,
We
Kayleen,
are
what are you planning on streaming
undefeatable!
this week? Are you going to be doing Fortnite? But I will ask him when I have a chance, Uncle Howdy, about, you know, like, if I get a chance. But there's no guarantee he'll respond to me. Like, I don't know how to explain how ADD works, but I have learned after a long time that if you have attention deficit disorder, you may not respond to somebody for weeks to months to a question. So he may not get back to me ever until, like, the event is over, unfortunately. If that makes sense.
Extermination!
Let's keep fighting until we have a winner.
He's the best little man shot.
Hostile fort.
Don't mess with the amazing Spider-Man! Born again!
I lift up my gun.
Keep an eye on this spot. I'm ready to do some damage. That one hurts. We are undefeatable!
Wow, you guys, we are really holding them back.
I'm sorry I could not save you. Perfect!
Another epic victory. Big win.
Yeah, I'll probably do some of the Battle Pass skins, Charles. Yeah, I'll probably do that, because I haven't shown off all the Battle Pass skins. I'm kind of putting that off, because I found some of the skins that I saw here were kind of more exciting. Alright, here we go with Jacob Ryan MVP. I'm sorry we didn't get High Howler and Dragon Lord in the end of this.
Maximum pulse! Pulse cannons and arguments.
We are undefeatable!
What do I hit next? I'm taking request.
Alright, here we go with Cosmic Galaxy. Yeah, great job, Captain America MVP.
I was worried.
Little God of Storm. Okay, interesting, Dragon Lord. Apparently, Little God Storm representing, she's called Queen of the Orphans. Yeah, definitely, Dragon Lord. Yeah, she was seen as like a deity, when she was like being worshipped as a deity when Xavier found her, I believe. Yep, definitely. Yeah, definitely Dragon Lord. That's cool. So Dragon Lord has the lore on that. Great job, everyone. And here's Charles over here. So I wish we could have gotten you guys all in at the end, but... I mean, that's why it always feels like amongst the videos, like, it's hard for Luke and myself to communicate because Luke has attention deficit and I don't. We do love each other a lot. We always, like, care about each other. We always are wanting to be as kind to each other as possible, but we don't have the same communication way of speaking. Like, I may be like, hey, what are you streaming tomorrow? And he'll be like, I don't know yet. And then he'll be like, sorry, I'm doing a video. I'm doing art right now. And so he'll tell me like 3 weeks from then when he's streaming. But it's like by that time I don't need to know anymore because I needed to know then. So that's how attention deficit works, where you don't really, it's almost like you're speaking two different languages. So yeah. But anyway, so I'll just show you guys. So yeah, so here's the Wolverine skin that I believe Lord Draken showed off. So really cool skin here. Honestly, I bet Luke will really want to get this, honestly. So let's, yeah, and Charles Demers was reminding me to show off some of the Battle Pass skins. Honestly, we never showed this one off. Scarlet Witch with the Phoenix skin, very cool. We have not showed this one off, this skin off. We just unlocked this Psylocke one. We just unlocked an Ultron skin. So let's actually show off the Storm one over here. So honestly, so many cool skins that are happening that we literally we didn't even have time to show all of them off. Oops, okay. Here we go. Darn it. Okay, let me go back to Storm and, okay, show this one and then MVP. Okay, there we go. I didn't get to show off my MVP, but you guys can see what it would have been. Very cool. Very cool. And I know one of you, I think Lord Draken was saying he wanted to show that off, but maybe we'll see it at some point. Very cool. Very cool MVP. Alright guys, well, thank you so much. You guys have put up with me for a long time. I'm sorry I didn't get everyone in on the last match. Thank you so much for playing with me, and we have the really cute Storm showcase. Really cute, and her name is, this one is called Queen of Orphans. Very adorable. Alright guys, thank you so much for watching, and we'll see you guys over on the next episode of Age of Imprisonment. So we'll see you guys over there, and thank you for playing with me. And to Kaya the Dragon, I will try my best to stream tomorrow. We're gonna try our best. Alright guys, God bless, happy gaming, see ya, and see you guys on the next stream. And thank you for playing with me, everyone.